So now that fall is here, you may be starting to decorate for Halloween. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to make these super cute ghost pillows. Hi there and welcome to Craft with Catherine. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make these super cute ghost pillows. You can use them to decorate inside. You can place them on your couch. They're just really squishy, cute pillows. Or you can use them as decoration. You can put them on your mantelpiece or even maybe in the center of a wreath, just wherever. They're really cute. They just take maybe 30 minutes to make up, and they're really easy. You can cut the fabric, both the white and the black, on your Cricut machine, and the black is heat transfer vinyl, so that's also cut out with the Cricut machine, and then I just press it on with my heat press, and then afterwards I just sew all the way around and stuff them. They're really easy to make. And so let's get started. So for today's project, you're going to need your Cricut cutting machine. You're also going to need a cutting mat, and make sure to give it a wash with soap and water if it's not sticky anymore, because you want your mat to be nice and sticky and clean. And make sure that you leave it to air dry so that all the water is gone if you are using an older mat. And you're going to need some white fabric. I'm using a poly blend. You're going to need some coordinating thread, needles, scissors. You're going to need a scrap piece or just a small piece of black heat transfer vinyl, and you're also going to need a bag of polyfill. I won't put it on the counter here just because it's too large to show in the shot, but I find just the smaller bag, which the smallest bag that was sold at my shop is 8 ounce. That should be more than enough to make this small cushion. You're also going to need some pins, a sewing machine, a heat press, and the free pattern, which you can find on my blog for free to use with your Cricut machine. I'll put a link below. Then you just go to upload, image, browse, select the SVG file if that's a file you want to use. Click Save. Now select the file, select Insert Images, and here you'll see the image measures around 10 inches. So I'm going to make mine as wide as possible until I get that little. See, it says it's too big. So I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit until it says it's okay for printing. And here you can see that the eyes and the mouth are in pink and the pattern is in white with a black outline. So that's so that they cut at different times so that you don't have to go back to the canvas. So, and here you'll see right here, that's the tab. So that's just there so that that's where you leave the opening after you sew around. There, the margin is already included, so you could just sew along the edge, and when you get here you start and you stop, and then that'll just tuck in, and it makes it easier to sew the pillow shut. So now we're going to go to make it. Here you can see the two designs appear on the cutting mat separately, and so at this point you can select mirror, and this is if you have a fabric with a pattern and you want to cut the front and the back out. Just make sure you're going to have to cut it, go back and select mirror so that the fabric that will lay properly on top of each other. My fabric doesn't have it doesn't really make a difference between the front and the back, so I'm just going to leave it like this and cut out 4 pieces just because I'm doubling up my fabric because it's transparent. So now I'm going to select continue. So whatever pattern is highlighted, and that's in with a dark background, so this is the one that we're cutting. So make sure to select the setting that corresponds with your fabric. Mine is cotton, and it's telling me to load the rotary blade, and afterwards upload the fabric, and then you can press the cut button to cut out your fabric. So here you'll see the fabric all cut out. So now the next step is just to layer them on top of each other so that they line up perfectly. Great, so now we can go ahead and pin it down, and make sure to use a lot of pins and pin along the curves. I'm just going to pin generally around just so that the fabric doesn't accidentally shift. This way it'll be more likely to stay in place. Great, now we can start sewing along the edge. So here you can see the tab. So I'm just going to start here just by bringing the needle down, and then I'm just going to remove this pin so I don't break my sewing needle. And I'm going to backstitch at the beginning and at the end. So now you can see it's all sewn up. You just want to go along the edge and give it like little darts along all the curves. So I would recommend just doing the entire edge. So now that I've clipped along the edges, now I'm just going to turn the pillow inside out. So now you want to take the time to really smooth out the edges so that you get a nice shape, since there's so many little curves. So there we go. So now the next step is to cut out the eyes. So here you can see I've cut out the vinyl. I'm just going to pull it away, and now I'm going to cut all these pieces separately. They're just circles, so I'm not going to worry too much about placement. Just going to eyeball it. So now the next step is to preheat your heat press to 300 degrees, and then when that's ready, then we can press the eyes and the mouth onto the ghost pillow. So now that the heat press is all warmed up, then you just decide which side is the front of the ghost. What I mean by that is either this way or that way. And then place the eyes however you want them. And the mouth. So that looks good to me. So now I'm going to press for 15 seconds. Great. So now, while it's hot, you want to remove the plastic. Great, and now we're ready to stuff the pillow. So now I've just turned the tabs onto the inside of the pillow, and now we can start stuffing the pillow. So you want to fill the smallest parts first. Make sure that you get a nice amount in like the end of the tail and the hands. So you want to pack that well. And you're also going to want to put a lot into the little joints right here. They need a lot of stuffing as well. Great, so just feel around. So I can see that the joints need a bit more stuffing. They actually need quite a lot to hold their shape. Great, so now it's all stuffed and it's ready to be sewn up. So to sew up, you don't put a knot. You want to use a double thread. Instead of a knot, what you do is you bring the needle through the fabric 2 or 3 times and it'll just catch on itself, and that way it'll cut down on bulk, because sometimes the knots add bulk. And now you just want to lay it flat, and you're going to sew on a diagonal and then pick it up on the other side. So you sew the diagonal through the fabric, and then you start at the other side. And when you're at the end, you just want to finish it the same way. So just go through the fabric in tiny little stitches, 2 or 3 times, and then you want to just bring the needle down about 1 centimeter, pull it through, and then just cut the thread. And then the tail just gets pulled into the fabric. So here is the final pillows. I have one in each direction. So these are super cute for decorating around your house. And again, you can find the free pattern on my blog. There's a link below. And leave a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. And make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.